Hello, my name is Dr. Ruthie. I'm a professional sexuality educator and I blog over at exploringintimacy.com. But thanks to the good folks at funwares.com, I'm here answering your questions about sex and relationships, including this one on anal sex. If you want to write your own question to me, and maybe I'll feature it here on YouTube, you can send it to AskDrRuthie at funwares.com. AskDrRuthie at funwares.com. This question comes from Leslie, and Leslie says, Dear Dr. Ruthie, my boyfriend Rick wants to try anal sex for the first time. My first time and his. I'm afraid he's going to be too rough and it'll hurt. Please help. What do I do? I am so glad you wrote this question in, and everyone who's tried anal sex has had a first time at it, and when it's both of yours, I can definitely see that, you are not knowing what to expect, nor is he, nor can you depend on each other for guidance in how to do this very well, so this is very understandable. The first thing I want to tell you is that you absolutely do not have to have any kind of anal stimulation or penetration if you don't want to. The second thing I want to tell you is that anal stimulation and penetration can be a lot of fun and very, very pleasurable if done well and done gently and done safely with lots of lube and condoms and gloves and all that good stuff. So it can be something really good. If you're doing it, then it should be something really enjoyable. It should not ever be bad. But that is no reason for you to have to do it if you're not interested in it. I've talked a lot about how anal penetration, anal sex works, and so I want you to take a look at some of those other videos while you're doing research on this. But I'm going to focus in a little bit about your fear that he might be too rough and how to communicate about this with him. The first thing that I would want the two of you to do is to sit down and talk to each other about the pros and cons as they occur to each of you about having anal sex together. What are the things you're looking forward to? What are the things you're not looking forward to? You may not be looking forward to anything about it, but maybe hearing what he's looking forward to about it will give you some ideas on what you might enjoy as well. Also, like I said, watch some of those how-to videos, and that can give you some ideas of what you'd be looking forward to or not looking forward to about it. So it begins with open conversation. If one person says, I have a fantasy and I want to try this, it doesn't mean that the next step is just jumping in and trying it. It means understanding what each of you is imagining and why you think you'll enjoy it, why you think the other person will enjoy it, and why you think it's good for your relationship together. Also be talking about protection. Having anal intercourse is not a suitable way to avoid a pregnancy. The anus is very close to the vagina and the semen can get down there anyway. Also the semen, the sperm that comes out in the pre-cum can get down there too. So it's lower risk, but it's definitely not risk-free by any means. It also is not risk-free when it comes to sexually transmitted infections. In fact, it's higher risk than vaginal intercourse, so you really want to make sure that you're using condoms and lots of lube to keep those condoms in good shape. And never move from any kind of anal stimulation to vulva stimulation, vagina, clitoris, any of that area. There's bacteria in your bum that's just meant to stay there, and if it gets anywhere else, it causes a problem, like bladder infections and other really unfun stuff like that. So no matter what fantasies or porn have gone through somebody's head, you never switch from one place to the next without taking off the condom, cleaning the area, have some good baby wipes and things next to the bed, and putting on a fresh condom. If your fingers and hands have been there, we take off the gloves and put on fresh gloves. Alright, so, and we also want to make sure that we know how we can be comfortable communicating with our partners when things feel good and when they don't. So that's another important part of safety. Okay, so straight up, sweets, here is my suggestion. Both of you, if you are interested in exploring any kind of anal stimulation from one person to the other, that you explore it mutually using well-lubricated, gloved fingers. That's right, both of you touching each other's anus at the same time, or taking turns touching each other's anus, starting with just staying outside, and then if you both feel comfortable and happy with it, adding more lubricant and gently sliding a finger inside. Slowly, gently, comfortably, and with all the lube you can manage to use. And not forcing or pushing anything. Both of you can experience a lot of pleasure from that kind of anal stimulation. It doesn't matter your gender or what gender you're attracted to. We all have nerves there that can feel really good when stimulated well. This is also going to give him an important sense of empathy for not being too rough with your anus and making sure it feels good. I am a big proponent that whoever is going to penetrate another person's anus has experienced being penetrated themselves first. And it's it's not any kind of punishment or earning the right to do it. It should be really fun and enjoyable, but it gives that person a good understanding and sense of empathy of what it's like to be on the receiving end. And if it's something they really want to try that much, hopefully part of the reason they want to try it is because they hope it'll feel good for you. So why wouldn't it feel good for them too, right? Okay. That might also give you a little more comfort because then you've tried being on the penetrating side, at least with your fingers, and so you understand what it's like to be on the giving side. And maybe that will help you to offer a little more guidance from the receiving side of how they can do it in a comfortable, pleasurable way. Again, at any point, you know, this is no obligation. You can explore and back right off. You can stay at the finger level and never move to any kind of penetration of fingers or otherwise. Or you can use it as a way to slowly move forward and try different kinds of anal sexual activities as well. You can also enjoy toys as long as they have a nice big flared base, and slowly working up size-wise like that, starting with the pinky finger and then a bigger finger and then 2 fingers and maybe a toy, then maybe something else over a period of days and weeks and months. This does not all have to happen in one sit down or one lay down. I guess you probably wouldn't be sitting because that would be hard to access, but you know, taking time enjoying and exploring each other and discovering what makes it feel really good for both of you if you decide to do this. And again, knowing that you can stop at any time. If it feels like you can't stop at any time, if it feels like they won't listen to you, or it's going to be really one-sided, or it's not about your pleasure at all, don't do it. Communicate about this and either fix the relationship with this person or find a partner who's going to treat you the way that you deserve to be treated on this topic and every other. This can, you know, if somebody is really crude and rude and kind of mean and not concerned about you when it comes to anal, that's usually a flag waver, a sign or a symptom of lots of other problems that you just hadn't noticed or hadn't let yourself take seriously until this happened. So maybe he's a wonderful guy, and this is, you know, just concerns that you're working out together. But I wanted to make sure to say that just in case that your bit in the email about that was actually a hint of larger problems. If you feel unsafe or threatened in any way, tell people until someone listens to you and helps you get help in this situation. I'm Dr. Ruthie. I hope that you have a wonderful experience deciding whether or not to explore anal pleasure together with each other, not just one-sided. And I will see you at the next video. Thanks.